Good evening, guys. KB5 MIQ Big Boy. We got a couple subjects to talk about tonight. At the startup of the video, you saw Rob's picture, KB6JFL. He was our 1,700 subscriber winner. Thank you, Rob, and thanks to everybody who's entered that. Appreciate everybody, all the support y'all give me in this channel. Got to have there's one more picture, some used gear that KV5SIX is selling. This is going to be there at the front also. Guys, I want to try something again. My email is GoodandQRZ, and I would like to start mailbag questions. If you got a question, send me some questions in or some topics, and I will start covering them like a mailbag Monday or something video, or Wednesday, since I do these on Wednesday and Saturday. So send me some questions in an email, and I will have my email in the description of this video. So with a little note about email questions and topics to me. So I appreciate it. Guys, got started finally on the new shack build. I'm emptying out the other bedroom in our house, and big shout out to my YL Pam, my wife, for being very understanding. Got a 3-bedroom redneck mansion, and when me and my first wife bought this, the reason we picked this one was because the 2 extra bedrooms were identical. And we had bunk beds in there for grand boys when we first got married, and now the oldest grand boys have got old enough that they don't spend it out with grandparents as much. They're teenagers now and got teenager stuff going, and the little ones don't live close enough to spend much with us. So women used the bedroom for a catch-all, and she decided to let me move my ham shack in there, and I'm going to keep this room for my pew and reloading room. So I got all my hobbies under one roof, plus it keeps me in the house instead of being in a portable building where Pam can holler at me a little quicker if she needs me. And here's a big boy's tips for any of you empty nesters that's got adult kids that keep moving back in and out of your house. Buddy, he said every time his 2 kids sold a house, they ended up moving back in with them till they got a new house. I said, I can stop that. I said, take 1 bedroom, fill it full of guns and radios, and take the other bedroom, put an uncomfortable futon in it, something an adult won't sleep on. Them grandkids will stay with you if they got to sleep on the floor, but that'll stop them adults. So maybe this will work on adults. Well, we'll get some air-up mattresses if we need air-up beds for grandkids to stay with us. But hopefully have y'all some video on that pretty soon. Getting the bedroom emptied, and hopefully by the weekend I'll go get a load of lumber to start building my bench. Guys, I've been reading a lot of social media stuff, and I don't comment much on ham radio social media pages. I do a little bit. Normally I just use them for material to do my videos with. One thing, and I've mentioned this before, I still see you guys asking what radio to buy. That's the Ford versus Chevy, and whatever radio the guy's sitting in front of him on his desk could be the one they tell you to buy. So do you some good research. Check eham.net out for reviews. They got reviews of every radio I guess ever been made. Give you some good ideas to start with. Be prepared for snarky answers. And if you're a ham and you've been a ham for a long time and somebody asks a question, if you don't have an answer for the question at hand, don't nitpick something else into it. This guy's a tech. He was having issues with interference because he's running an 891 and a dual band mobile in his truck. He's a tech, and he was having more trouble with the VHUSF mobile, kicking something off in the truck. I can't remember what it was. And he was trying to ask questions about, what would be causing that. And somewhere along the line, he mentioned he had a tuner in there he was using. And the whole post was about a interference question, had nothing to do with operating. This guy comes on there and said, well, you get your general class before you keep using that tuner because you're breaking rules. Nothing brought that up. I mean, I guarantee you very few hams out there will hit that auto-tune button in ID once it auto-tunes. You ID any conversation. I'm not telling you not to ID when you run a tuner, but when you're just looking for something to dig on a ham for, that's wrong. I've said before, if you can't answer the question, just don't comment on it. You're doing the hobby a favor by not commenting on it in a way that makes you look like an idiot or a knothead for being a know-it-all when you answer a question with an answer that had nothing to do with the original question. I hope that made sense, because that aggravates the far out of me. To me, it shows that you really don't know what you're talking about if you can't answer the guy's question, but you got to nitpick another response into it on a subject that had nothing to do with the guy's original response. And really, I believe it was all VHF, UHF related, so the guy was a tech, he was operating legally. So, see another guy wanting to see a program that tell him the proper way for elevation and everything to do with putting the tower up, and there's nothing wrong with any of that. We've got the world of technology at our fingertips now. There's nothing wrong with doing any of that, but there's also nothing wrong with taking your time and just throwing something up and using it for an experiment. That's what the hobby's about. I had a buddy of mine, this is kind of a different related subject, wanted to get into reloading. He asked me, and I'm 65 and I've been reloading since I was 19. And this was probably 25 years ago he asked me this. He said, big boy, how many grains of powder's in a can of powder? I go, I don't know. I just buy a can and load till I'm out. Well, he come back next day, there's 3,750 grains or some long number. I said, okay. Then he come back, I've figured out how many bullets I can load to get the most bullets out of every pound. I said, Jake, stop. I said, dump some powder in that case, put a bullet in it, shoot it, have fun. You're making this hobby way too in-depth for somebody who's never done it. Stay within your loading requirements. You've got a low side and a high side. Stay in the middle of that somewhere. Don't put more in there than you're supposed to and have fun. You're supposed to be having fun doing this, just like ham radio. If you get bogged down in studying all the super techie aspects of trying to do something, especially if you've never done it, it's a real easy way to get turned off of the hobby. Not telling you not to work yourself into that. But if you don't have any radio or electronic experience, learn as you go. Get a radio, cut you a wire dipole using the formula that you will learn in your first license, and throw it up in the air and have some fun with it. Once you start doing that, then start trying to enhance your shack and enhance your knowledge, because this hobby is a continuous learning experience. Any ham radio operator that tells you, I know everything about ham radio, that's the one you need to avoid at all costs. Because I guarantee you there's no ham out there that knows absolutely everything there is to know about ham radio. The hobby evolves, it's still evolving. The old guys don't like the way it's evolving, but it's going to evolve or we're going to lose it. And we've got to be the best custodians of it. It's our responsibility to keep this hobby alive and encourage these new guys to get started in it. Right now, I can't think of a better way and a cheaper way for a new tech to start enjoying this hobby than to get on 10 meters. If you can't afford a full up HF rig, I don't care what anybody says, go get you one of them 10-meter mobiles that's got single sideband on it, upper sideband. Throw you a dipole in the air and you will make contacts. KI5 VWO, one of our newest hams in the 10-meter hammerheads, is running a Striker, I believe, or a President Lincoln. One of the 10-meter mobile rigs with single sideband on it, and it's talking all over Europe every morning on 25 watts and a wire dipole hung out of a tree. That's the best way to have fun and get started in this hobby with minimal expense. 10 meters is hopping. It'll give you lots of experience operating on HF, learning a little bit more about propagation, building you an antenna without a major outlay of money, like a full up HF rig, a tower, tri-banders, etc. is going to cost you. Start off in this hobby, walk before you run. To me, that's the best experience. Now, if you've got experience and you got the money and you can dive in it, dive in it. All I want you to do is stay in it. We need you in the hobby. We need you getting your tech license, advancing to general, and keeping the license current. If we lost 29,000 techs over a period of years once they dropped the code requirement, we can't afford that. We've got to keep you guys keeping your license active, because that's what the FCC is going to look at one day, is how many active licenses we got. They're probably not listening to the airwaves that much and hearing who's who. They may be looking at social media, but the raw data that they will go by is how many licensed hams are currently got a current ticket in this country. And I want you to get licensed, and I want you to keep it current, and I want you to enjoy the hobby. We'll help you any way we can. Send me questions and comments. Send me an email. I'd like to start like a mailbag video up. Guys, this video may be a little rambling tonight because I'm kind of doing it on short notice. Richard's getting more and more used gear all the time at MTC. If you're looking for something specific, call him. Get on his email list, and that way you will learn about all the coupon codes and sales, because they got big end of year stuff going on right now and Black Friday. So check them out. This is KB5 MIQ Big Boy. Guys, appreciate everybody who subscribed to the channel. I think we're at 1746. Y'all have a great week. 73.